Blackfire, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Man, you were on it today. First one here. I opened Twitch and got here before I even got to know. That's hilarious. Notifications? Who needs those? What's up, Gun Highs? How are you? Good to see you. C# for the win. Although today we're going to be doing some front end work, so we're going to be writing a little bit of TypeScript, a little bit of Vue. TypeScript for the win. Nice. Let's see. This morning, Flyfisha. Long time no see. Flyfisha is one of our longest tenured, illustrious YouTube members. Good to see you, man. It's been a minute. I hope life is treating you well. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, TypeScript is also awesome because Microsoft did a good job. I think Microsoft did a good job with that one. I think Anders Hausberg is pretty good language builder. Better than I could ever be, you know. All right. Where did we leave this off? Okay. So first and foremost, we need to check out a new branch. Add front end. Yes, yes. Good to see you, Flyfisha. Good to see you. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Lorenz. Good to see you. Hope y'all are doing well. We're gonna try to get the front end set up here. So let's see. Mark's on YouTube and Twitch. I like it. A new setup for chat. Yeah, we just made it this way because the other day somebody was complaining about the right half of my screen on Twitch just being used for nothing. So I said, okay, well, we can use it for chat if that works. And people were like, okay, that sounds good. So that's normally what you see on the right side of the screen is normally what I read from when I'm reading chat. So I just put it on the main display. All right, let's go through and just kind of audit each one of these files and make sure it's stuff we need. Nah, bro, you're awesome. Awesome. Good programmer using AI as a tool, not as a replacement. You're cool. Well, thank you, Gun. I appreciate that reassurance. I don't know if I'm a good programmer, but I try. I try very hard. Trad coder for the win. I just think that's such a funny terminology. Okay, we got all that. TS configs look fine. We got our playwright stuff. Let's delete all these comments. We don't need any of the mobile stuff. Let's see, we'll have to fix the web server. That would need to be something different once we get to it. But right now it can stay that. We've got our package JSON. Looks like we got Pina installed, Vue, and Vue Router. I don't know why we have both auxlint and ESLint. Not sure why. Excuse me. But we'll happily do that. And then we've got the beta version of Vue. Let's go ahead and change this to be representative of our app. Tradcoder is a funny term. It's a hilarious term. I'm not really sure if, who originated it. The first time I heard about it was from the Primeagen, but I'm not really sure if that was the original origin. To allow more languages other than TypeScript in Vue, uncomment the following lines. Okay, let's go read up about this. What is this? Hello, sweetheart. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope your day is treating you kindly. Do you think that C# got some influence on creating TS, or is it just the case that JS is garbage? Oh, do I think that C# got some influence on creating TypeScript, or was it just the case that JavaScript is garbage? So I don't think C# really had anything to do with JavaScript. Anders Heilsberg talks about this in a couple different interviews. There's actually a really good TypeScript documentary on YouTube on the Cult repo channel that talks about how TypeScript came to be. And it's actually kind of interesting. The original, so what was originally happening was the team that was working on Outlook.com had built something called C# script, and they were basically authoring code in C#, and then they had some piece of code that would compile or transpile their C# into JavaScript to be run on their target destination. And they came to the C# team to see if the C# team, which at that time Anders was running, they came to the C# team to see if the C# team would get involved in productizing C# script. And that kind of is what kicked off, like, wait a minute, why would you want to write in C# and transpile it to JavaScript? Why not just make JavaScript better? And I think the rest is history from there. I mean, I gotta imagine that some of Anders' taste as a language designer, like, bled over into TypeScript, right?
Did we just become best friends?
Rim, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. Oh, maybe it's not the TypeScript documentary. Maybe is it TypeScript or maybe it's VS Code? Man, I could have sworn there was a TypeScript doc. Am I just imagining this? Maybe I'm imagining this. Well, I know that he talked about it in the interview on GitHub that I watched recently. Let me find that real quick. Yeah, right here. This is a pretty good interview. Yep. Morning, Cyberlanka. Good to see you. How goes it? I just got accepted into the GitHub Global Campus. Now I get the Student Developer Pack and so much cool stuff for free. Well, that's awesome. Nothing wrong with some free stuff. DNA956, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Lurk away all you want. This thing, space versus tab things, make a programmer so pissed. I experienced today. I fixed the bug, all the logic, and when I was near getting merged, the style shit hit me. Oh, the tabs versus spaces? That's crazy that in 2026 that's not automated. Somebody should just have a you shouldn't require programmers to manage that stuff manually. You should just have a formatter or a linter that takes care of it for you. It's been 2 hours. I've been fixing space and tabs in C. The biggest lesson is don't click space or tab. It gets you stuck. Sharing new experience. Well, that sounds really shitty. That sounds like a really shitty experience, Sweetcar, because manually modifying tabs versus spaces is a waste of time. Just have a formatter do it. I'm not experienced enough with C to know if there's like a tool chain for that in C, but there should be some sort of linter or format to do to make that happen, because that's just kind of a waste. Nutty, is TypeScript using the Go codebase yet? I don't think so. There is a version of it available. I think it's called TSC Go. Let's see, TypeScript compiler Go. So you can use it if you want. But it hasn't officially become the main. It won't become the main until TypeScript 7, I think. But you can see there's a preview available, and you can opt into using it in VS Code, it looks like. So if you want to use the new Go powered compiler, I think you're allowed to, and I think it's possible. But if you don't have to. But eventually it will become, we will all get the benefits of the rewrite. Or not it's not really a rewrite, it's a port. Good morning, Omanian. Good to see you. Let's see. All the script blocks in .view files must be written in TypeScript. Should be either setup lang ts or setup lang ts. Okay. So I don't need to do anything with that. Let's just delete it. To allow more languages than TypeScript. No, I don't want to do that. Wonderful. See, we got prettier. I'll have to fix that. I don't know about this oxlint thing. I have no idea what it does. Git ignore, that's fine. That's fine. Editor config. I think that's fine as well. Let's see, prettier. I know I have a version of a prettier config somewhere. Let's see, GitHub. Lurk away all you want, Imanian. Good to have you here, though, buddy. Good to see you. It's a straight 1-for-1 port, I believe. Yes, that's why I said I shouldn't really say rewrite. I should say port, because he actually talks about that quite a bit. That was one of the reasons why they chose the Go programming language, was because it made it much easier to port the TypeScript code. Let's see. For C formatting, you can use industry standard Clang tidy. Oh, there you go, Sweetcar. Maybe that'll save you some time. Yeah, manually doing all that would be a pain. Does not sound fun. Okay, and then we got end-to-end files. App.spec, router, stores, public. We don't need this anymore. We're going to replace it with our own. Hello, Bradley. How goes it? Why does that keep resolving there? I almost forgot about my coffee. All right. Excuse me. Let's see. What do we want to do? Maybe like a bank or money icon of some kind. Let's see, money. Dollar bill, y'all. Well, I kind of like the vault. See that? And I don't really know about the color scheme yet, so let's see. Canva palette generator. It's some form of JavaScript I can't read. What are you talking about, Bradley? Hey Steven, any tips on how to wake up at 4 a.m. consistently? Right now, my sleep schedule is trash. I stay up the whole night. It's 10 a.m. here, and I haven't slept since yesterday. That's intense, D. Or is it just a dad thing? No, it's not a dad thing. I mean, I spent most of the last 9 years, I would say, probably last. Well, ever since my kid was like, I don't know, maybe two, my oldest son, since he was two till about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I actually would sleep pretty late. And the reason for that was it used to be I'd always wake up early. And the reason I loved to wake up early was because it was sort of like getting a head start on the day, and could have like totally uninterrupted time to work on the stuff that I wanted to work on. But then my kids got older, and what kept happening is I would wake up early, and then no matter how early I would wake up, my kids would wander out of their bedroom. So it'd be like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and here comes my toddler. And so that would mean like, well, that kind of defeats the defeats the purpose of getting up really early, right? And so then what I did was I kind of switched my schedule so that I would stay up real late, and then I would sleep later in the morning. And I did that for most of the last like 5 or 6 years. And then a year and a half ago, when I decided I wanted to get more consistent with streaming for longer periods of time, I just moved my wake up time again back to being early. And I don't really have any tips per se. I mean, obviously, going to bed early helps a lot. Like, it's just the later you stay up and the earlier you're going to get up, the harder it is. But I don't have any secret to it. I just set an alarm, and when the alarm goes off, I get up. I don't lay there. I don't think about it. I don't hit the snooze button, right? I just wake up. So, yeah, I don't I don't know. I don't have any good advice. Bradley, it's a bad uh Lord of the Rings reference to your front end code. It's a good reference. It's a good reference. Blackfire, 5.2k channel points. Man, you're stocking them up, dude. Nice. Way to go. As I've gotten older, I found my ideal sleep schedule. It's not one size fits all, to be honest. Some people are naturally later risers. I'd encourage you to look into Huberman's research on circadian rhythm. Yeah, it is kind of crazy that human beings really do have kind of a spectrum of sleep and awake times, which kind of makes sense if you think about it evolutionarily, why that would be, right? You'd want people who sleep later and stay up later, and you'd want people who rise earlier and go to bed earlier, right? Because when you're living in a nomadic tribe, and
I'd like to say something.
One does not simply wake up early, Stephen. Another loader reference.
No, one does not. One does not. It does require intentionality, but I don't have any secret to making it happen. I actually, my 23andMe test results actually say, they actually give me like an estimated best wake up time. 23andMe. Let's see. What does it say? Thing's taking forever to load. This says my wake up time is likely to wake up around 8:05 a.m. So I'm completely violating that. One sec, I'll be right back. Good morning, David. The server is finally chef's kiss. Nice. Good for you. Good morning, Bite Slayer. Long time no see, man. What am I doing this morning? We are going to try to hook up the front end code to the back end. Is what we're going to try to do today. But before we do that, I was going to try to figure out a nice color scheme for this thing. Where's the, let's see, color. It's like color, generator, theme, Canva. I can never find this thing. Color wheel, there we go. Complementary, monochromatic. Yeah, let's start here. Okay, so let's start with, what color do we want to start with? Let's start with, the color that we used on this website. Copy. Steven, have you already tried Linux? I haven't tried Linux as a daily driver. I just use Ubuntu to host a couple servers. Okay, I kind of like the pastel. That's nice. But eventually, I imagine eventually we'll try it. We'll give it a go. Monochromatic. Okay, let's start here. Let's see, save. Initial color palette. So then let's make our favicon this guy. Whoops.
Did we just become best friends?
Thank you very much for the follow, Bite Slayer. Appreciate that, man. One liter of water coming Steven's way. I don't think I have my water bottle down here. I have a Gatorade, but that Gatorade's gonna go real fast because it's not even a liter. It's 355 liters. Or sorry, 355 milliliters. 355 liters would be a whole different story. Did I already download that? Where is it? Come on. Why is this not working? Huh. So weird. PNG to fade. I've been watching Steven for 47 days straight. Don't know how many days. Need to get 100K. Dude, that's intense. Thank you for hanging around for that long, man. I appreciate that. That is very kind of you. Not expected at all, you know? But very, very kind of you. Let's put all this stuff here. And then we need to move this into the repository, source, web, public. Cool. Now let's clean up, let's see, main.ts. That looks fine. We just got Pina. We're setting up the router. App.view. Very minimal. We don't need the counter. We will need stores, but we don't need the counter quite yet. Create the router. Got some tests there. That's fine. Okay. So now we should be able to... Okay, we can leave that all there. Now what we should be able to do... Actually, hold on. Let's move this up to the root of the repo. So ... That should go up. Then one more, yeah. Then go up again. Does it? I don't think it does. There we go. Okay, let's try to run that. So we'll go cd. Whoops. cd physical os.web. npm run. Let's go ahead and open this up. We did it. Cool. Now the question is, we need to connect this with Aspire. So Aspire has support for this. So in our app host, we need to add a new project here that's a JavaScript project. So let's go to Aspire, aspire.dev, and let's look at how are we going to add JavaScript. Okay, Aspire add JavaScript. The Aspire CLI is interactive. Be sure to select the appropriate search result when prompted. And then we can add the JavaScript application here. Let's see, by default, add JavaScript app uses npm as the package manager, runs the dev script during local development, runs the build script when publishing to create production assets, automatically generates Docker files to build production assets. The name of the resource in the Aspire dashboard, the path to the directory containing your JavaScript application, your run script name. For Node.js applications that don't use a package.json script runner, you can directly run JavaScript while using the add node app. For Vite applications, you can use the add Vite app extension, which provides Vite-specific defaults and optimizations. Auto install by default. Package managers automatically install dependencies by default. This ensures that dependencies are always up to date during development and publishing. I love that. All right, so we should just need to run one command, and then we should be pretty much up and running. So we'll do Aspire, add JavaScript. Oh, no, not there. That's the wrong place. Go to the root. There we go. Cool. And now let's go ahead and build. Do .NET build. I got halfway through a REPL HTTP server from scratch, my own SQLite, all in the graveyard, unfinished. Dude, that's awesome. You built your own SQLite? That's really impressive. Whoops. That. Version. I really want to work on a side project, but finding something that engages me is hard. I lose interest so fast. Any tips? Bradley, honestly, my best tip for this is solving my own problems. So the only reason I'm interested in building the thing I'm building right now is because it's going to make my life better, you know? And that's what keeps me interested, is the payoff of having something that makes my life better, and it also gives me the opportunity to learn new things and try different things and figure out how to solve puzzles that are related to that bigger problem. So to me, it's always been build things for yourself, build side projects or work on side projects that solve an issue you have, that's what keeps me interested. I know not everybody's the same though, you know. Arvin, is that an XML file? Yeah, these are XML files. The CS project files, yeah, they're XML files. And actually, there's a new solution file format that is XML as well. Let me see. I think I can actually migrate to it if I want to. .NET's migrate solution to solution X. Yeah. I think if I run this command. Good morning, Artwork Studios. Good to see you. A liter of cola. I saw that comment. It's a good reference. You guys are on top of the references today. We've had Super Trooper reference, Lord of the Rings reference. It's going to be a good day. Yeah, that's way simpler. Let's get rid of this guy. And then let's build .NET build. Okay. So now we have to go to the app host and we need to add our project. So we have to say var, let's do front end, or actually let's do var web equals builder dot add vite app. Bring in that using, which I guess is not needed. And then what do we do for the vite app? So we give it a name, path to the folder, and then with reference. So the path to the folder is going to be, this is web, path to the folder is going to be .. / app host. We go up one directory, physical OS web is what we want. Physical OS .web. And then we also are going to tie it. We're going to say with reference to API. And we can say with HTTP endpoint. I actually want to use HTTPS. So how do I, let's see, if we go into the web project, how many times are I going to do that before I stop doing it? If we do npm run dev, that runs on HTTP. So what I want to do is I want to migrate that to HTTPS. So how do I set that up? View HTTPS plugin. Sorry, vite HTTPS plugin. In most scenarios, it is recommended to generate a secure, trusted certificate instead and use it to configure server.https. Yeah, but isn't there a make cert? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Make cert. I'm pretty sure this is what I've used in the past. Hey, Steven, what's your YouTube channel? Good morning, Edie Liz, the best guy. What's my YouTube channel? I mean, you're on my YouTube channel right now. Shirag, what's happened to your Freeborn Training YouTube channel? Nothing. I really haven't done much with it in the last, oh my goodness, the last 7 years. I just haven't been making content around fitness. Bradley, Solution X has some issues with some Azure pipelines. If you happen to be using that, it might be resolved now. Oh, I didn't know about that, Bradley. Lucky for me, I don't have any usages of Azure, so I should be in the clear. Can you do a face reveal? What are you talking about, dude? I'm the one who's making an OS. Talk about unemployed. I don't think you're unemployed. If you are unemployed, and you can build an operating system, you're not going to be unemployed long. Good morning, Isaac. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope life is treating you kindly. Let's see, vconfig. Oh, did I generate my own certs? I guess I generated my own certs for this. Man, I could have sworn there was like a plugin I used recently for this. Let's see, what would have been the last Vite project I worked on? I don't even remember. No. Not that. Maybe this? No, this doesn't have a front end to it yet. I wonder if it was this. Oh no, Blackfire, you've got ads? Those damn ads. Thanks for watching them, though. Thanks for watching the ads for me. Yes, here we go. So I guess that is the plugin. Vite plugin make cert. No problem, got to support. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I just want to make sure I'm getting this from a safe place. Okay. This should be fine. So let's do npm install. Okay. We go down here. We go to our Vite config. We do make certs like that. Where did that go? Cool. No, sorry. I wasn't stuck. Sorry, I was just reading. That's funny. I was just reading to make sure that I wasn't hacking myself. All right. So then we do dot with HTTPS endpoint. Okay. And we can also specify, I think we can also specify the port in here too. So let's do that. So let's go back to the Aspire docs. And you can say with HTTP import, port, env, port. Don't you have to enable cores, or did you do it? So I won't worry about cores because I'm gonna proxy from the front to the back, and I'm going to, when I deploy this, I'm gonna have it all. I'm basically gonna serve it all behind one domain. So I'm not gonna make cross domain, cross origin requests. So basically, I'll serve it from like physicalOS.stephenfreeborn.com. That'll be where you go to hit the front end, and then physicalOS.stephenfreeborn.com/API will proxy to the backend API. So that way I don't have to worry about cores. Because cores is kind of a pain. It's not terribly difficult these days to configure things, right? A lot of things make that pretty easy, especially in .NET. They have like a add cores and use cores extension methods that you just have to call with some configuration values. But if you don't have to deal with it, why deal with it, right? So does this have an overload to it? Let's see.
Did we just become best friends?
Thank you for the follow, Imanian. I thought you were already following over there. I'm gonna unfollow and follow. Oh, I see what you did. Okay, let's set the port to. What's our API port? I think our API port is something like 7060. 7060. So let's set this to 7061. And then Vite port environment variable. What is that? Vite port environment variable. Vite uses the standard port. Okay. So then we can just say port. All right, so with that in place, what we should be able to do is we should be able to go here and say, go back up into our root. We should be able to say Aspire run.
Voltaire's puppet is reminding you to hydrate.
Thank you, Voltaire. I appreciate you looking out for me that way. Maha, what are you always building? I don't really have time to watch your streams, but it's entertaining. No worries, man. You don't have to watch my streams at all. But thank you for saying that they're entertaining. I don't know if they're entertaining, but they are my streams. I am currently building a personal finance app, is what I'm building right now.
Did we just become best friends?
Thank you again for the follow. Rifkia Morphin. All right, so now we have our web project and we have our API project. So our web project, if we go to this URL, hopefully it works. It does. And we could even add OpenTelemetry support, I think, to this if we wanted to. Now, the nice thing is then let's set up the front end. Let's set up the Vite server to proxy to the backend. So I believe we just need to copy and paste this here. Well, hold on. Before we do that, let's actually wire something up real quick. So let's go to here. And let's just do very simple. Let's just add a login form to the app. So we'll just delete this guy. Let's do form that. We'll have an input. We'll have 2 inputs. Just slap a label on there. That we'll do label will be username. This will be a password. Let's see, and then let's go ahead and add a for attribute, which will be username. For equals password. Type will be text. Type will be password. What just happened? What the heck just happened? It just auto formatted and it did not do anything. Why did it do that? Okay, we're gonna have to figure that out. I don't know why that's happening. That's a first. I've never seen that before. Why is null ls formatting that way? Maybe I don't have the right formatters or linters installed or configured in NeoVim. How in the world do you remember all this stuff? I don't remember all of it. I look up a lot of stuff, John, all the time. All the stuff, all the time. I look up all the stuff all the time. I don't remember all of it. I wish I was good at remembering stuff, but yeah, I don't. So we have ESLint. You have the config checker. We have prettier. So why? Let's see. I really don't want to get derailed by this, but this is going to be an issue if every time I try to auto format, we blow away everything. So NeoVim, null ls formatting view puts everything on one line. I've never had this issue before, and I don't know why I'm having it now. All right, let's take a look at the or the prettier file real quick. Okay, let's remove this stuff real quick and see if that changes anything about. I don't understand. No. Hmm. Does it have something to do with... Let's see. Maybe Gemini can help me because I'm kind of at a loss on how to fix that. Yo, I'm having an issue in NeoVim where whenever I run auto formatting on a .view file, all the text gets put on one line. Ever seen something like that? Maybe search the web. I use Gemini the same way. Nice. John, oh cool. I just started vibe coding. I'm starting to feel I need to learn coding to continue my journey. I think vibe coding can get you pretty far, but yeah, you kind of eventually probably do run up against kind of a ceiling of where just knowing the right words to say, right? You kind of run out of the vocabulary necessary to describe what it is you need it to fix or do for you. So I could definitely see how learning to code would be helpful, John, for you. But obviously, I know some people, they're not interested in coding. They just want the final product, right? So that's also valid. I understand. I understand that's also a thing. Let's see. In NeoVim ecosystem, this usually happens when Volar and Pretty are both active, or when Volar tries to format the file using a default HTML formatter that aggressively removes white space. Let's see. Volar is excellent for view intelligence, but its built-in formatter can be aggressive or conflict with Prettier. If you have Prettier set up, and Volar is also attaching to the buffer, they might override each other. Let's see. You likely have an onAttached function in your LSP config. You need to add a check to disable formatting for the Volar client. Excuse me. If you're using null ls or none ls, make sure the source is set up correctly. Well, I guess we can see who's attached to the buffer here. So let's see LSP info. Let's see who's attached. We have Copilot. We have null ls. We have Tailwind. We have TypeScript. We have the emit language server. We have OmniSharp. I don't know why OmniSharp's attached. And Liminex. Okay, enabled configurations. Unknown file type, go HTML. Yes, configuration will not be used. Unknown file type, javascript.jsx, TypeScript. Oh, I need to look at these errors more often. VS Code HTML language server is not an executable. Maybe I don't. I must not have the VS Code language stuff installed. Okay, so let's I guess let's disable one of them and see, whoops. Let's see if that makes a difference. Let's see, close. We'll do LSP, stop. LSP info. And I guess let's stop the, not null ls, let's stop the TypeScript language server and see maybe if there's a conflict there. Okay, nope. It's definitely null ls that's doing that. So lsp start ts ls. And then if I do lsp stop null ls, null dash ls, lsp stop null dash ls. I don't know why. This is so frustrating. This is why people get frustrated with NeoVim. I've literally never had this issue before. Man, this is so relatable. Good morning, Side Sheriff. Good to see you. John, exactly. Trying to articulate to agentic is driving me crazy. Yeah, that's why that might be value in and of itself, John. Just learning to code just so that you can improve how well you can prompt. So I can see the value there for sure. Okay, so what do I do here, man? I don't know what to do with this. I don't know if I should just switch to VS Code and figure out this later, or because I really don't want to get terribly sidetracked with it. Whoops. Let's see. NeoVim, NoLS. Yeah, this is the right search. Yeah, I hate you. Voltaire, what changed to cause it? I have no idea. That's the thing. It's been a while since I've worked on a Vue project, but I've never had this problem in a Vue project before, and that's what's kind of driving me crazy. So those are VS Code settings, so that really shouldn't be coming into play right now. We have our prettier. Let's see. What happens when I run? What happens when I just run the command line versions of these things? So if I do npm, what is it? Npm run. Let's see. Npm run lint, which is going to be es lint. No, es npm run format. How about that? Okay, did that change anything? No, it did not. So that's good. But for some reason, when I auto format it with that guy, Oh no, your code base is cooked? That's bad. Let's see, Sci Sheriff, but read my message. It's some other tool messing up, not NullLS. Okay, hold on, let me look. Let me go back. See, pretty sure NullLS is just the bridge between NeoVim's LSP and other non-LSP tools, such as formatters. Yes, that is correct. Which is why I don't understand why... I do not understand why... why it would screw it up so bad. Do I see? I have prettier set up here. I have a prettier RC JSON in the root. Oh. Is it because... Well, hold on. Let me test the theory. Where are we? Here we go. Let me test the theory here. Nope, that's not the issue. I thought maybe it was because I was editing the file from the root of my project versus the root of the Vue app, but that's not the case. Is there some sort of diagnostics that I can see when I do the formatting to see what is happening under the hood? Let's see. NeoVim logs when formatting. Excuse me. Run. Let's see, that's from October 2nd, so that's not what we want. This thing's probably ginormous. It's 197,000 characters. 197 million characters. I just want to get the last line. Let's see. What's the best way to go about this? Good morning, Ryan. How's the coding going? The coding was going well, and now I've been derailed by a NeoVim issue. Yeah, everything was going just fine. And now I'm fighting my NeoVim configurations, or trying to figure out why my NeoVim configurations are doing what they're doing. Let's see, LSP log. Let's see. NeoVim So let's do get content dash path lsp log tail 100. See, error while computing diagnostics for file cannot read properties of null. Mason packages, CSS, LSP. Let's see, invalid ESLint config. Expected function or table with executable command. Got table. ESLint language. VS Code ESLint language server is not executable. Do I just not have things set up properly, I guess? Maybe that's the problem. Let's see. Let's go ls mason. ls mason bin. Well. Invim config. No, let's go back to physical OS. Let's see if I have any other view projects. Let me see if I see the same behavior with other projects on here. So, do I have any other view projects here? I don't know if I do. Oh, excuse me. Christmas. Wasn't the Christmas tree generator? Didn't we do that in Vue? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did this in Vue, didn't we? Yeah, there we go. This was on Christmas Day, so this was pretty recently. So I haven't changed my configuration very much since then. So let's see. Okay, that did not have the same behavior. That looks a little weird. Okay, that's weird. So something's off. But what? I can't tell. I guess let's start by just resolving some of the errors here. Maybe that would be a good place to start. Let's see, emit language server, unknown file type, go HTML. So let's just work through each one of these errors and resolve them. Voltaire, check health maybe? Let's see. We can try that. Check health. Let's see, command not executable. No active sessions. Looks like the only thing is I'm missing a particular package that I haven't installed, which is the debugger, I think, that I was just using for Rust. Let's see. Lazy. Python 3. User. Lua Rocks not installed. LSP config. Health check is redundant. Lua snip requires the JXX rec library. Mason, unzip not available. Winget not available. Let's see, null ls. Yeah, I don't see anything here that's pointing me to a particular thing. Well, folks, this stream has officially turned into wrestling with NeoVim. Let's see. Edit in Vim config. Let's go to emit. Remove that. What other warnings do we have in here? VS Code ESLint language server is not executable. Configuration will not be used. VS Code ESLint language server. Where's that coming from? VS Code ESLint. Do I not have that set up right? Let's see, Mason. I have ESLint D installed. Should I have something else installed? Let's see, ESLint null or sorry, Mason ESLint D. Bro, this is so annoying. Every stream with NeoVim is always NeoVim with a little with a little coding on the side. Dude, I know. This is so painful. Okay, so maybe that's my problem. Let's see, do I have the ES? I don't think I do, so maybe that's my issue here.
I'd like to say something.
With these complex systems, everything is fine until you throw some monkey into the pile of wrenches.
The monkey being me, huh? Let's see. think I can uninstall this one.
I'd like to say something.
We all monkey.
Okay, and then what's the other warnings here? Unknown file type JavaScript JSX. Okay, let's go to ls. Let's go to quit all this. Come back. Go back to our view file. Okay. Unknown file type JavaScript dots. That's not coming from me. That's coming from the defaults. Okay, so now let's do Q. Nope, that's still okay. So what the thing is like it's null ls that's making the issue, right? So it's something that null ls is calling. So how do I find out what null ls is calling? Let's see, lsp stop null ls. lsp stop none ls. There is literally a server named null ls right here. What are you talking about? It's invalid. It's literally right here. lsp stop null ls. You son of a bitch. Hello, pooping pigeon. Nice username. Let's see. Try null underscore ls as it probably uses internal IDs. Well, I did. That's the thing is like I did, didn't I? Oh, underscore. Sorry. Nope. That's crazy. There's literally an LSP right here attached, or a language server with that name. It's the enabled configurations. You're a son of a bitch. I might give up on this because this is just not what I wanted to do today. I might just switch over to VS Code because this is infuriating. What is a view file? Vue is just a front end framework or I guess it's really a library. I don't even know. Library framework. I don't know. It's a piece of technology that helps you render basically you can author your front ends in a declarative way and have a bunch of nice quality of life conveniences. Since everything is null, I blame Bob. Let's see. Try quotes and tab complete. Let's see. Div. That seems to work. Well, hold on. That's Copilot. So let's see. Div. That seems to work. Let's see. ID. I mean, I don't think I have view set up the way it probably needs to be, but Bob was mentioned. All right, we're gonna. I meant stopping LSP. Let's see, LSP stop. Null. Oh yeah, it gives me. So it does give me null ls, but then that says invalid server name. Okay. So just chalk this up to like Steven's NeoVim configurations are bad, and so we're gonna go over to the VS Code world, and Steven will have to come back and wrestle with his NeoVim. But I'm not gonna waste the morning on that. Let's see, we got bottom terminal. That's fine. PowerShell. You can go ahead and close that. I'm gonna open Visual Studio Code. SciShare front end is exactly why I switched to Zed. I 100% believe I can figure it out. I think the problem is I need to take the time to actually investigate it, and I don't right now. I'm not interested, and so I'm not being very what do you call it? I'm not being very thoughtful about how to fix it. VS Code supremacy. VS Code's a very good tool. It is a very good tool. All right, so what were we in the middle of doing before we got completely sidetracked by this? I think we were in the middle of authoring a form is what we were in the middle of doing. So const hello equals hello. That works. We need to disable Copilot for a second. So we have username, password, and we are going to say on submit, handle submit, function handle submit. Log hello. Got to clean up some tabs here. Okay, go to the web project. Make sure that this works. Oh, I don't have any way to submit the form. Whoopsies. Oh my goodness. That's so funny. Type equals submit. Submit. Oh, hey, Voltaire, thanks so much for gifting the sub, man. That's super, super kind of you. Thank you. Sorry, I don't have an alert set up for that yet. I need to do that. And I keep forgetting to do that. Thank you very much, man. That's really, really kind of you. Very generous. More generosity than I deserve. So thank you very much. Alright, let's do submit. Oh, we need to prevent default. Okay, cool. So now what we want to do is we want to try to make a request to our backend to log in. Just to make sure we have this all wired up properly. So let's go to...
I'd like to say something.
I must leave. You're welcome. Please post on YT on the NeoVim saga. I'm just getting into using it.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I can definitely update you once I figure out what the hell I've done wrong. But thank you very much. Dota 2 attitude cores incoming? No, we're gonna bypass cores altogether. We're gonna bypass cores altogether. We're not even gonna deal with it. So we're gonna do, but I like where your head's at. So we can do e form data event, and then we can do const form data equals new form data. This will be e dot target. Let's see, is event target is null. No, I guess that's not what I want. So let's just do as HTML form element, and then console log the form data real quick. Steven password. Okay, let's see. Construct form data from form target. Okay, so why don't that work? Why no work? Why no work? We got too many windows. Need to clear some of them out. Somehow I have the power to predict the future, but only briefly. It's a good superpower though, man. I'll tell you what. Let's see, submit event. We have input, username, password. Okay. So let's type this as submit event, and let's type this as a target. Still typed as target, huh? Okay, so we should be getting form data. And why are we not? Or are we getting it and I'm just not reading it properly? That could be happening. There's nothing there. We must turn to the almighty powers of the powerful LLM. Let's see, Gemini. Let's see. I'm trying to construct a form data object from the event's target when submitting a form, but the form data keeps ending up empty. Well, what am I doing wrong? Ryan, no work because Vim dead? Duh. That's where you get VS Code out like me, you know? That's a missing name attribute. No, I have name. Targeting the button instead of the form. Oh, whoops. Is that what my problem is? I need to be using current. LOL. If that's it, I'm an idiot. I'm a big dummy.
Kelsey says that was a big yawn, my guy.
It was a big yawn. Good morning, honey. Good to see you. Test. It's still not... It's still not working. Listen, I don't care about your types right now, okay? I just want this to work. I just don't understand why I'm having so much issue, you know? See, our input has a name, our password has a name. We have a submit button. I don't understand why this isn't working. Let's see. Yank it. Dude, Steven is about ready to crash out this morning. NeoVim doesn't work. I missed it. What happened to Vim? We couldn't get Vim to work with formatting view files. Every time we tried to format a view file, it would screw up the entire file. And I have no idea why that was happening. It wasn't happening the last time I worked on a Vue project, so I'm not really sure what changed. Let's see. Ew. Woohoo! Although, why is username not coming through? You see that? There's only a password. I don't know why. What's happening? Oh. Let's see. For password name, it should be username. I'm really screwing up like small little things today. Nobody would hire me after watching this stream. Okay, test, submit. There we go. Okay, so now what we want to do is we actually want to post this back to our backend. So we're gonna do const. We're gonna make this async. We're gonna say const res equals await fetch. And ideally what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to do this. So we're just going to proxy API auth login. And then we're going to have some stuffs we have to pass in here. So we're going to have body, which is going to be json.stringify. And then do we need, oh yeah, method is going to be a post. And this is just going to be object from entries, form data, like that. And then we'll say if res.ok, or actually if res.ok equals false, alert, oh no, we have a problem. And then otherwise we'll just console.log. Actually, either way, let's just do this. Let's just say console.log res.status and console.log res.status text. Now this shouldn't work, right? Obviously, this should not work. So let's do test, submit. So it says 404 not found. That makes sense. So what we want to do is we want to rewrite anything that goes to this API to a different place. So this is what we want to do. We want to do something like this. Beat config, yep. And then we're going to come down here, go to server block. We're going to paste, oh, whoops. I guess I can just do paste that in. That was weird. Why doesn't auto formatting work? Something funky's going on. Format on save. I don't know why. Something weird is happening. It's not auto formatting. There's definitely something weird with this project. I don't know what it is. I wonder if it's because I have this thing in here. I honestly don't know. Do you have the default formatted configured? I believe so, yeah. Pretty sure I do. At least I have that prettier extension installed. Something definitely odd is going on though, because this should work in VS Code. I mean, let's see, prettier. Yeah. So I have this installed. So I don't know why I'm having so much issues with the formatting. It's crazy though how like spoiled I've gotten because whenever the auto formatting doesn't work, I like lose my mind. Do you have Prettier itself installed? I don't. For VS Code to work, you shouldn't. That should all be taken care of for me. Like, you shouldn't have to install Prettier globally for VS Code's extension to work. Switch to Lisp. That would be one solution. This would be one solution. Okay, and I'm pretty sure. So these environment variables look really funny, but they get injected by these environment variables get injected by Aspire. I'm almost 100% certain. So let's go back to the Aspire. Yeah, see right here, Services API and Services API HTTP 0. So these get the way that these get injected into these environment variables is because of the call in app host. Where is it? Oh, because of this. See, and so this is the magic. This is some of the magic of Aspire. Is because we said builder add vt app with reference to the API, that URL or the service, the location of this API service automatically gets set in some environment variables here. So now what should happen is that anything we call to API should get proxied to our backend. Is what should happen now. So let's test that theory. So now I would expect to receive a 401 now, is what I would expect to receive. Let's see, 415 unsupported media type. Oh, that's because we did not set the content type on the header. This would be content type is going to be application JSON. Is it JSON or is it JSON? Will we ever know? There we go. 401 on authorized. But if I do this, if I do Steven password 200. Woo! See, and we don't even have to worry about cores. No cores. Which is nice. And then when I deploy this, the way it'll be deployed is I'll basically have the same type of proxy set up when I deploy this. So I'll have Nginx. And then, so I'll have Nginx here, and then I'll have the web project, and the API will be running in containers probably. So this will be the web, and then this will be the API, and any request that goes from Nginx to the web, we'll just catch it in Nginx and we'll say, okay, if it has API in the path, we redirect it over here. Otherwise, it goes to the web. So we'll basically recreate this so we don't have to deal with cores when we deploy it as well, which is nice. Anonymous, I just joined in, but you know, Vite has a proxy feature for what it seems what you're having a problem with. Oh, Anonymous, you must have joined in right after I showed the configuration. So we're actually using that feature. So we're actually using the proxy feature in Vite to sidestep cores. No problem over here. The biggest problem we've been having this morning is making auto formatting work in my editors. That's the biggest problem we've had all morning. But what are you gonna do? Okay, so now that we know that that works correctly, let's go ahead and clean this up. We don't need this. We don't need... let's see, we don't need this either. And let's just leave a heading, and we'll just call it H1. Okay. So I think everyone's happy now. Let's look at our changes really quick. Bunch of front-end stuff. Bunch of cleanup. Let's delete the counter. We don't need to check that in because we don't want that. Delete. Router. We'll keep the router. Let's see. Test. We'll keep the test just for reference. We'll keep the end-to-end test too. Main we can keep. Yeah, I think this is all good. So let's do feature, add front end with Aspire integration. Commit. Publish the branch. Let's go ahead and go back to the terminal. Let's go back over here. Stop this guy. We'll do get status, make sure we have everything clean. GHPR create. That sounds wonderful. Merge that in. Rebase, don't delete the branch. I've been trying to keep the branches long-lived branches too. I don't know if any of you care, but I've been trying to keep the branches that we've worked on stream open, or that I've worked on both off stream and on stream off, or not deleting them and leaving them. So if you are curious, you want to see like how I did each step of the thing, you can kind of go and see the diffs. So let's now do, let's see, get checkout main. Let's get checkout B. Whoops, get pull. And let's do get checkout. Feature, add login. Oh, okay. Let's do add login form. Add login to front end.
Did we just become best friends?
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Who was that? Sorry, I missed your sub, man. Hold on one sec. I know a place where I can see it though. First off, thank you for subbing, but I would like to address you by your name. To tell you thank you. CZ54. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Push that up. All right. Now, the first thing we need to do on the front end is we need to establish protected versus unprotected routes, right? So that's numero uno. So our routes is empty right now. And we're going to want to have... Okay, so we're going to want to have some routes that are like this. Basically, something that's public namespaced and then essentially everything else, right? And so the public space will contain things like login, right? They'll have log out. What else? I think those are the only ones. Oh, they'll probably have like a home page, right? Like, or maybe the home page should just be the login screen since this is just a me app. And then everything else is going to go behind a guard check, or basically an auth check is what it's going to go into. So down here in the routes, it's been a minute since I've done this, but there should be a way to say something like path, or no, this is a complex object, isn't it? Path root, and then components. Let's see. How have I set this up previously? But basically, our app is just going to be the app component is just going to be the router. Is all the app component is going to do. So we go back here. We go back to our app. This is literally just going to have router. The component to display the current route the user is at. Is that what I want? Or do I want router? I guess it is router view. This is why I need to do more stuff with the front end more often. Yeah, router view. Then, whoops. Then in our routes, that's where we're going to have our check. So, but we have to have some sort of like, some top level guard check. See, I know I've done this before in other projects. Let's see, Onyx graph. I actually could probably steal all of the auth stuff from this project, because this is basically exactly how I want it to work. Excuse me. Yes, this is exactly it. So we need to create a user store, which will read from local storage. And then we need to define something like this. So we have I have a public layout and I have an authenticated layout, which makes sense. But I think for this, I don't think I need a public layout. I think for this, I just need a view for login. So let's start hacking, piecing this together one by one. So let's go here. Let's add a folder for our views. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to try to delete that. Whoopsies. Let's see, views. And in here we'll do a login view. And then in here we'll do I guess a home view, I guess? Yeah, like a dashboard. Yeah, I'll just call it home view. Home. Start simple. And then we can have I don't think I can use public here, that's the thing, because public already resolves to a particular path, so I don't think I can use it. Good morning, Justin. What's up? Good morning. I see today we are working, not chatting. Sadly, my Wi-Fi is out right now, so no work for me. What? No work for you? That sucks. Your Wi-Fi's gone? That's awful, man. That's the worst. Yeah, we haven't been chatting as much today. Just trying to hack away on the front end. It's been good though. We had a little bit of struggle with NeoVim, so we switched over to VS Code because I couldn't get auto formatting working in NeoVim. But then when I switched over to VS Code, auto formatting still doesn't work. So we're kind of going through. We're in the blender this morning. Dude went out last night as I was building that pair programming web app I mentioned yesterday. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, we're in formatting hell. Exactly, we're in formatting hell. So how do I use Gemini? Let's see. In my Vue app, I want to use the public route for unauthenticated requests. However, this conflicts with how Vue handles public assets. Is there a way to work around this? Learning prettier was the least of my concerns until I went mental on formatting. Yeah, I don't know if it's that I need to learn prettier. I think I just need to figure out why I have configurations that conflict with each other, you know? Let's see what Gemini thinks about this. Let's see, since the public folder is flattened into the root on build, this is primarily a development environment issue, but is annoying to work around. So you rename the public folder, recommended. This is the cleanest workaround. If you're committed to using public as your route path, you can simply rename the physical folder where you keep your static assets and tell Vite about the change. That sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful. Vite config, where is it? Vite config. Public dir. Then in my router, we can do this. We can say before enter, I'm going to call this thing here, check if user is logged in. And then we have to import, let's see, component is going to be import. Let's see, it's going to be up, views, home view. Cannot find module views, home view. Why not? Oh, because I put it in the wrong place. Also, this should be flipped. This should be login. Or no, this should be home view. This should be login. See, check if user is logged out. Okay. Now let's go into each one of those components just to make sure this all works correctly. Let's go to login view, and we'll just say, give me a script. Then give me a template. And give me styles. Same thing. This is home view. Okay. Now we can go back to terminal. We can do a Spire run. We actually never need to stop Aspire. I don't know why I shut it down. We can just keep it running. And then we can use the dashboard to restart our apps when we need to. I have been yawning a lot this morning. I felt like I slept pretty good last night. But I've been yawning a lot. Okay. So there's our home view. And then this should be public. Yeah, that's it. So honestly though, what it should be is it should be this. It should be did I just close that browser? Why am I such a dummy? Close that. Here's the dashboard. You're yawning because we haven't talked AI SW doomerism today? I know, right? It's not as exciting. It's not as exciting. This actually should be not, should be components. No, it should be like children. Children, I think is what it should be. That. And then this path should be login. There I go again. Ugh. All right, so right now, what we want to happen is I guess what we want to happen is if we go to home, or if we try to go to the root of our application, we should redirect you. You should say return. Forget how this works. View route guard. I think you can return. So we can say redirect the user to the login page. This is what we want. So before redirect user to login. Return name of login. Now, do we have to give this a name? Yeah. Let's say login. Or can I just say, instead of name, can I just say like path? Yeah. So let's, instead of doing that, let's just do path. Let's do public login. Now there should, like, to do actually check if user is logged in. So now what should happen is if I try to go here, yep, I get redirected to the login, which is good. What happens if I just try to go to public? Yeah, so I need to fix that. So if I go to public, public should redirect to the login. How do I do that? That's over here, and I believe there's a redirect key. Yeah. So this will redirect to public login. If you try to hit public, we just send you the login page. And then if you did hit public login like this, we should, and you're logged in, then we should redirect you to the home page. And now we just need to have some state where we keep track of who the user is and whether or not they're actually logged in. And we'll probably do that with a composable, some sort of use user store function. So let's go to here. Let's create a composables directory like that. And I guess we'll do use user store. I'm not making that up, right? There is Vue does, that's what they call it, right? Vue calls them Vue composables. Oh, actually, hold on. I don't want a composable. I want a store. Well, I want both, I think. I want a user store.ts, which will use Pina. And I don't know if I'll need that. Let's see, delete. And I already have this built in another application, so let's just go copy that code. Uncle Pee-wee, that's lame. It doesn't go over 25 or 25 streak. Ah, man. Damn it. Escaros, hi. Are you planning to start a completely new project on stream in the near future? If so, when? We just started. This project is brand new. We just started it like 10 days ago. Maybe 14 days ago, something like that, 2 weeks. We've only been working on it for 2 weeks.
Did we just become best friends?
Chiton, thank you very much for your sub. Let's see. Sorry, Justin, I wasn't paying attention. Hey, Steven, as a fellow dad and techie, I wanted to get your opinion on how you moderate things like screen time. Kiddo and I were sick all weekend, so screen time was high, and I got some like dad guilt, I guess, being, man, we shouldn't be watching so much TV, but I got over it because we were resting. But in general, I believe with kids, screen time should be limited. Me and my wife are pretty lax on screen time. Like our kids have always been iPad kids, and our approach has worked pretty well in the sense that it seems like our kids sort of self-regulate a little bit. Like even though they have kind of unlimited screen time in some ways, they seem to always end up putting their iPads down or putting their gaming down at some point to go do something else. The only thing that we've really had to put limits on is YouTube Kids specifically. We don't let them watch the normal YouTube, but YouTube Kids has a screen time limit set on their iPads, I think at like an hour or maybe 2 hours in a day. That's the one thing that we noticed kind of was all encompassing. Like if we let them have unlimited time on YouTube, it would just sort of eat all their attention all day. So we did put limits there. And then they do have limits like after a certain point at night, the iPads shut off and the iPads don't turn on until a certain point in the day. So we have screen time limits like that. But for the most part, we're pretty laissez-faire parents when it comes to the screen time stuff. We try to make good decisions based on our guts and how we feel our kids are behaving and how they're acting, you know? It's tough, and you just have to do what you're comfortable with, right? I don't think anybody really knows what's right or wrong for someone else's kid, right? You kind of have to trust your parenting intuition. You know your kid better than anybody. And fuck all them judgmental parents. Let's see, what if you have bubble guts and there goes 26 to 30? That's lame. It does not go. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, man. The streak is dead. Your streak is no longer going to continue to increase. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, I was going to copy and paste. It flipped finally. Oh, well, there you go. See, you were getting upset for no reason. we go. User store. Yeah, I think this is exactly what I'm looking for. Log user in, update sidebar state. That's not important to me at the moment. Yeah, let's just copy this really quick. We'll put this over here. Gosh dang it, I got the orange stickiness everywhere again. Let's get rid of that. Oh, hold on. Actually, let's not get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. Refresh access token. Do I want to worry about that right now? Let's see. Create. I don't have those factories yet. Access token. Log user out. Let's not worry about the access token refreshing just yet. So we have logged in user, which has an ID. That makes sense. Expires at the token itself. Expanded. I don't need that. I don't need that. Get user from local storage. We need that function. Client factory, auth service factory. We don't have either of these things yet. Why did I use factories? I can't remember why I used factories in these cases. I don't remember. What was my reasoning behind that? I think it was because sometimes I wanted the client to be authorized and sometimes I didn't. If I remember right. Let's see if I can find the code for that. Services, client. Yeah, I think I did this because the configuration of the client was going to be different based on whether or not I was making an authenticated request. I think. I really should steal all this code because I'm going to have to rewrite all this code anyways. But I don't know why. Why did I think I needed a factory function? What was I calling where I didn't want to send? Send the thing. Well, in any event, right now that doesn't matter. Let's just make an API call and get logged in. So, what we're gonna do is we're then gonna use this function in our route guards. So we do not have these things. And we do need the JWT library. So let's go to another tab here. Let's see. Gotcha. That's good insight. Thanks, man. Kiddos is young, so I'm so kind of learning a little bit together as we go. Oh, I feel you, dude. We're all learning. I mean, that's all we're all learning, man. Parents, we're all in this together, and we're all learning. You know, and that's the hardest thing about being a parent is the fact that the first time you do it is oftentimes, you know, every kid's different. So every kid you raise, it's like the first time you're doing it. And there's no redo. There's no like try over. You get one opportunity to do it, and hopefully you don't screw it up too badly. So that's the worst. It's the worst part of all this. So you have to be kind with yourself. You know, be kind to yourself. Do the best you can. I mean, I think if you're a parent and you're worried about whether or not you're a good parent or not, that's a good sign that, you know, you're on the right path to some extent, you know. Let's see, what about like online games? I don't know if you have seen, but Roblox has become an atrocious place. Yeah, we don't let either of our kids play Roblox. Kiddo has friends that play Roblox. She asked me to play, and I'm like, sorry, girlie, you can't. Yeah, we have both my boys. I have a 10-year-old. I have an almost 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. And both of them have friends that play Roblox. And my wife and I've played Roblox. When they had initially started asking about it, I sat down and tried to play Roblox just so I could get a feel for like what the game is like. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. And so part of not wanting them to play it was just like I didn't see the value in it really myself. And then obviously now Roblox has had all kinds of controversial issues. So that's probably the only game that we like hard full stop. We don't let them play. But other things we're pretty liberal on. Like we let them play Fortnite. I let my kids play Call of Duty. They obviously can't like talk to strangers. Like they can't do voice chat and that sort of thing. But like my wife's brother, their uncle, and the kids will like get into lobbies and play together and party chat, you know, stuff like that. But we don't let them play with strangers and the whatnots. Again, it just to me it just kind of goes back with like, what are you comfortable with as a parent? And if something in your gut, if something has you uncomfortable, it's probably a good indication, right? That you're making the right choice to not participate in it. Let's see, Roblox was a great game for some people in my generation, mostly because of being able to create and experience a multiple of games. Oh yeah, and that isn't me knocking Roblox. Like I just didn't understand it when I tried to play it, and so then when we were considering allowing our kids to play it, it was like I don't know, I don't really get it. I don't understand what they're really doing in there. And yeah, we just didn't have a good gut feeling about it, so we decided, nope, we're not going to do that. I mean, I've heard a lot of people have made like good money building Roblox games, which is pretty cool. I've also heard, I think Roblox uses Lua as their script, like their scripting language, which is pretty neat. All right, so now we have a way to decode the JWT on the front end. We don't need any of this. And then what we can do now is in our router is we can do, okay, let's do const, user equals, or let's do user store equals use user store, like that. And then we can do the same thing down here. We can say if user store dot user right? So that means if we have a logged in user, we should redirect. If user store equals null, then we'll return true. Or actually, I guess we should say then we'll return I don't know how I want to do this. I think what I want to do is I want to return path like this. I think is what I want. So if there's a user, redirect them to the root of our application. Otherwise, they can pass and go to the login page. Is what I'm trying to say there. So if we go to the root, yeah, that's what we want. And then on the login page, or sorry, on the here we'll say if user store dot user equals null, then we want to redirect to the login. There's some other stuff here too, like to do handle expired token. So let's now try to go implement the login form. Login view like this. So let's just add a quick form. Crap, I should have saved that form from earlier, shouldn't I? Now I've got to re-implement it. Let's see, dot prevent equals handle submit. Oh, it's not even inside the script tag. Lua. Yes, Lua. It's good stuff. I've actually never written any Lua before other than to configure NeoVim. Label. And then let's do input text. The fact that the auto formatting is not working is really screwing with me. Okay, so this will be password. Password. This is going to be for password. Username. 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 Password. Password. And then we'll need one more div down here. We'll hold our button. We'll call it login. Type equals submit. Do E, submit event, const form data, or actually const data equals object dot from entries, and we'll do new form data takes in the E dot current target like that as HTML form elements. Can you do a cast that way in TypeScript? No. Okay. Okay, and then we need to use the user store here too. So we'll say import use user store. And we'll say const user store. Actually, let's just do log user in equals use user store. And then we'll say const response equals await fetch. There should be an async function. So you don't use HTML shorthand. I do occasionally, like you mean like this, like div li li times 3. You mean using emit like that? Is that what you're talking about? I do occasionally. Sometimes I'm not super good about remembering to use it all the time. So you can use angle brackets after the method name to cast to. Really? I don't think I knew that. You mean in here you can use it? I don't think this supports... Does this support generics? I don't think form data supports generics. Like that? Or are you saying on the submit event, it takes a generic argument like this? Oops. Submit event's not generic. Event is not generic. Yeah, I don't. It works if generics was integrated. Oh, well, I know. Oh, sorry, Sam. I know about generic SamDDev. I just didn't know that. I thought maybe one of these supports generics, but it doesn't. So you have to cast it, right? There's no way to type this thing as an HTML form element without a cast. Uncle Pee-wee, can you not do like HTML encode at the top for the entire page? I'm not sure why I would do that. Let's see, we're going to API auth login. Yeah, I really should have saved all that code I wrote earlier today. Let's see. Headers, content type, there's application, JSON, and then body is going to be JSON .stringify data, and then what was the other thing I had here? Headers, body, method. That's what it was. Method, post. Okay. If res dot okay equals false, we should do alert. Failed to log in. Then return. Otherwise, we do log user in and we pass in the token, which will be on the body. So we'll say const response body equals await response.json. And then response body should have a token? I forget what we called it. Let's do endpoint login login. Why is none of my... Let's see. The active document is not part of the open workspace. Not all language features will be available. Okay, why? Why? Let's see. .net. Physical os.solution. Reload window. Titano, hello Titano, good to see you. I'm trying to figure out why my C# stuff isn't working in VS Code. I tell you what, I've had a hell of a day with the editor stuff. Auto formatting doesn't work in view files in NeoVim or VS Code. And for whatever reason, there we go. Okay, access token, that's what I called it. That's all I wanted to know. I just wanted to know what I called it. Access token. And then I also think we need to redirect. How do we do that from here? So we have to do const use user out. Oh, that's not it. That's not what we want. How do we redirect our user? Let's see, view, router, redirect. No, I need to redirect programmatically. View, router, redirect on login. Is it router? Just router.push? Login form. Can't stop yawning this morning. Yeah, router.push. Okay. Router.push. Easy peasy. Let's see. Const router. Use router. And then down here we'll say router dot push. All right, let's see if this works now. Oh, we don't have a label. Okay. So Steven. So what should happen is, if this works, it should redirect me to the home screen, or the home view. So let's do password. Hey, looky there. And then if I refresh my page, it should keep me logged in. And if I try to go back to the login, it should redirect me to the home screen. Perfect. This is exactly what I want. Now, we need to also deal with a couple other things related to handling the expiration. So the user on the front end is represented by a stored JWT token. And so it's possible, right, that JWT token is expired because it only lasts for 5 minutes right now. So what we need to do is we need to handle the case where you refresh the page and there is a user, but the JWT is expired. In which case, within this particular route guard, what we want to do is we want to, one, try to refresh. Then, if refresh fails, log out, redirect to login. Otherwise, if refresh succeeds, log user in and allow to pass. So that's what we'll try to work on next time, because I'm out of time today, unfortunately. Yeah. C# in VS Code sucks, man. Do you think so? I don't know. I think it's pretty decent. They've done a good job with the C# dev extension kit. They've definitely made it a lot better than it used to be. Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in? I have not tried that. I will be spending some time today, I guess, trying to figure out my NeoVim configuration issues, though. Let's see. Feature, web, implement initial logic to handle protected versus public routing. Cool. I think I'd also like to try to add open telemetry support for the front end. Open telemetry for view applications. I think that would be kind of cool. I've never done that before. Maybe just for JavaScript. Anyways, something to think about. See you, D. Have a good day. All right, chat. Today was fairly productive aside from getting derailed by NeoVim config challenges, which I'll try to solve today. So when we come back tomorrow, we can go back to our beloved NeoVim. But other than that, let's see, we wired up the front end to the back end. We implemented a public route and a protected route. We implemented a basic user store for persisting the user to and from local storage. And we implemented logging in on the front end. So that's a pretty productive day. See you, Justin. Have a good day. All right. Anybody got anything else? Otherwise, we'll just we'll do our normal wrap up and we'll get out of here. Yeah? Okay. Well, if you're new here and you want to come back and hang out in the future, the best place to find us is live on Twitch or YouTube each morning. I'm live here from 4:15 to 7 o'clock. If you're around and you want to grab a hot caffeinated beverage and come and hang out and join us, we'd love to have you. If you want to interact outside of stream, the best place to find us is Discord, and I'll put the link to that in chat as well. It's just discord.stephenfreeborn.com, and you can find us over there. And with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. And if it's Wednesday for you, I hope you have a great and wonderful Wednesday. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah? All right. Bye, chat. Bye. Bye. See you guys. Have a good day. Appreciate y'all.